What's going on? Is Anton from antondaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Getting ready to head into the studio this morning, but I wanted to address something that's kind of bubbling under the surface as far as people's opinions on influencers, right? And so what they're basically saying is that there's an influencer recession, or I see a lot of people having a conversation about the fact that they think that it's an influencer recession. And I want to just give y'all my real authentic thoughts because I know we talked about it a little bit on After Hours, but I want to engage with you guys right now and kind of have that conversation with you. So just to set the precedent, I don't believe that there's an influencer recession. I believe that there's a culling, right? And that's across the board. That's in every industry. And content creation is no exception. So this is a relatively new industry, even though it's been around for an extended period of time because it's evolving fast, right? So you see YouTube really starting to blow up. YouTube is really less than a 20-year-old industry, probably a little bit younger than that when it comes to making money on a platform. And I'm one of the earlier OGs of it. And so I have a different strategy or a different perspective than the people that just jumped on it in 2019, 2020, 2021. And even today, right? But there's a culling, and there's always going to be a culling in the industry, but that doesn't mean that it's a recession. I'll give you an example. Every single cycle of real estate and trucking and anything else that you get into, there's always a conversation about how you can get in fast and make money and all of this stuff, right? And so what I usually see is people that don't have a long-term strategy or think that it's a get-rich-quick scheme, they fall out of favor not only with the industry itself, but also with the consumers, with their advice. It doesn't hold up. It's not a standard that you can then set and say, hey, this is something that you can long-term build wealth off of. And most of the people are used to the quick dollars, right? Where they jump on a wave at that particular time. And it's the same thing that happened in trucking. I've seen a lot of people promoting and having conversations about, oh man, you got to get into trucking. This is where all of the money is at. No, it was just a quick boom because logistics was messed up in the industry and everybody was at home at the time, and then we had that pandemic and all of this stuff. And so you got to be very, very careful with the advice that you give, especially if you haven't been able to prove it over a period of time. And then also on top of that, let's just take real estate, for example, right? I see people, get into real estate, cool. But do you truly understand it? Do you have the capital to be able to, weather the storms and stuff like that happen? Are you able to truly be able to make money? Or if you have, for example, a rent moratorium like they had during the pandemic, or if you have, or you live in an area where, it's harder to get people out, or you start to deal with squatters, or you have a bunch of properties that you need to rehab or redo, or you have some vacancies, are you able to carry that mortgage, right? How are you able to do that? People were just so concerned about doors and having more doors that they were leveraged out of their eyeballs. And then every single time that some form of an issue happened, or a pandemic or something happened, or the market tanks or the interest rates go up, then everybody go boom and bust. And then people like me come in and swoop in because we were more strategic and we got a long-term perspective and we understand, and we leverage capital in order to make sure that we mitigate risks and don't get into the industry and then suffer. We don't have no problems. As a matter of fact, we benefit from the fact that everybody else is going bust, because then we can take advantage of the whole conversation, right? So when I see people say stuff like that, it just tells me that they, A, don't understand the industry, and then B, there's a culling. And so what a culling basically means is you're going to separate the real from the fake, or the market conditions change, or there's some new entrants that's just better than everybody else, right? And so I was talking about this a while ago, probably about a month ago, and that some of my favorite OG content creators just kind of fell off, right? Maybe they got married, they started simping out and they gave up on that dream. Maybe they in a position where, they just no longer interested because they're not getting the results that they want. Maybe they just fell out of favor and they, became boring and stale, and they got in at a time where it wasn't much competition in that particular industry. But just like anything, like I said, you can take technology, you can go into cloud infrastructure, you can say software engineering. There is going to be more competition when you see an exceptional level of success in an industry, right? And when it comes to content creation, a lot of people that was booming in the 2020s, 21s, 22s. A lot of them their channel was dead. They had to retire. I seen, for example, I'll just use some examples, and I'm not throwing shade. I'm just using it as an example. The Roommates, for example. The Roommates is a platform that gained a lot of subscribers, a lot of visibility because they was there at the right time. So timing matters. But in order to have endurance, you still got to be able to sustain that. And they fell out of favor because, the consumers just changed their minds. It's another platform that I was a part of, and that I was a partner of. We kind of fell out on what our separate ways, respectfully, and, make another me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to survive. I'm going to be great. And as a matter of fact, we're going to continue to run it up. Let me give you a couple things that I always like to use and that I always say. First, I love organic traffic. Organic meaning that people find me and they truly rock with me, and I don't believe in fair weather subscribers. So I'm not tripping off of the subscribers numbers. I'm more or less aligned with the fact that the people that are subscribed to me truly rock with me. Right? I don't want people to only rock with me in the same way that if you see me in an algorithm, I only want people to rock with me based off of the fact that you truly are engaged or embracing what it is that I'm doing from a content creator's perspective, and then they grow with me. And that's why I was having a conversation a couple years ago, and I said, I'd rather have 100,000 people that truly love me and rock with me than 1 million people just because the numbers say that it's good. Because engagement it make a difference. Watch time make a difference. So sponsorships make a difference. The type of content that you put out make a difference. And because I'm an OG, I understand these things because I was able to organically build it, and I don't have the same problems as everybody else. As a matter of fact, every time that I hear people say that there's an influencer recession, my numbers are bigger. All of my people are making way more money. Everybody got raises. We running it up. And there's going to be highs and lows in the market, but again, it's your ability to be able to sustain. Now, as far as the boom of the 2020, 21, 22 during the pandemic, I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that everybody was home and everybody was watching at the time. I just believe that it was a time to be able to capitalize off of, but being able to sustain and that long-term endurance is the thing that's going to separate you. I'm a hustler, so I'm always going to have multiple streams of income. I take whatever revenue that I make in this, I bust it down with the team, and then I invest in all of the rest of the stuff that I had going on way before I ever started really blowing up on YouTube in the first place, right? And so I'm still in corporate America today because they pay me a crazy bag, and I ain't gonna leave no money on the table. People was laughing at me when, after I retired in 2019 before the pandemic, I got a crazy job offer, and I decided to take that job offer. Who's laughing now? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't worry about what everybody's talking about. I just make sure that I'm authentic, that I run it up, that I take care of business, and I'm on top of things. And so when I see people say that they got an influencer recession, no, the bags is bigger than ever before. And I think that there's a recession for some, but I'm not sure if that's a recession because more money is flowing in. Maybe the companies ain't giving out more free money no more because they didn't see a return on their investment. But I got long-term partnerships. We run up a bag. We continuing to be successful, and we gonna continue to run it up. So that's just my authentic thoughts. Again, I don't have any smoke for anybody on this particular video, at least. I don't have no smoke for nobody. But I'm just gonna tell you for real, like, I don't see it. I don't see it. Every single year we do better than we do the year before, exponentially better than we do the year before. The revenue is crazy. The engagement is awesome. And then we got the biggest Patreon on the face of the planet. So make sure y'all tap into the Bag Chasers. Link is in the description. And then I'm thinking about doing some even more unique things that we planning for next year, next summer. Maybe we'll even have a conference. You know what I'm saying? So I love you. I appreciate you. I'd love to know your thoughts on if you think that it's an influencer recession because there's a lot of people, not everybody, because some people are able to pivot. Some people are moving over to other platforms. Some people make more money on TikTok than they do on YouTube and stuff like that. You know, it's different waves for different people. And I know that people are engaged on this platform. But I'm not really sure how that affects other people on other platforms. And there's some bigger opportunities for me to even take advantage of, but I'm working on that. It's really about capacity and making sure that we're growing organically than just hurrying up and jumping on a wave. I'd rather get on there and then add value than to just automatically say, oh, this is what I'm doing. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off of life. Make sure you get that. Again, tap into the Bag Chasers on the Patreon. Link is in the description. And then let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Do you think that it's an influence or recession? Or do you think that it's just a changing of the times and a culling of the people that should and shouldn't, or, you know, just changing consumer taste, whatever? Y'all let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Tap into the Millionaire Morning Show today. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.